My hearing story really starts in infancy, where toxins released by ear infections destroyed part of my high-frequency hearing. It wasn't really a problem. I went through school without a problem. I went through university without a problem. And until my late 30s, I never thought of myself as having a hearing loss. By my late 30s, I found I was having trouble in cocktail parties. I moved to the fringes of the group so that I didn't have too many other conversations, competing conversations, and I could focus on the one that I wanted to listen to much better there. By my early 50s, everything got worse. I had tinnitus. I had my first hearing aid, and the consultant explained to me that with my kind of age-related hearing loss, the little hair cells that send signals into the auditory nerve were progressively failing. And the difficulty of that is that when they all fail, hearing aids no longer work. So at that point, a cochlear implant became the only solution. The impact that this was having was that when I had social limitations, I found it difficult, and eventually I tried to avoid them wherever possible, or else found some useful job that I could do, being a waiter or topping up drinks. But just try not to get into difficult hearing situations. In business, I eventually reached a point where I couldn't use a telephone. I couldn't follow what was being said in a business meeting. And this really made me think very seriously about a cochlear implant. I looked into the future, and what I saw was a situation where I'd be an increasing burden on my family. I couldn't continue in business, and for myself, I couldn't enjoy social situations or many of the things that you need just for normal life. There was an incident that happened in a supermarket where a woman barged past me and then turned around and said rather crossly, "Well, I did say excuse me." Now, what she didn't appreciate was that at the time, all I had was a single hearing aid, no hearing in this ear, and forward-facing microphone, so I couldn't hear anything behind. And that is typical of sort of little incidents that happen when you can't hear properly. Now, this is interesting, and it may be important for people that are considering having cochlear implants in the future. Because I do a certain amount of business, I had to assess what my income prospects would be if I had an implant compared with my income prospects without an implant. And in my case, I felt that the income prospects alone justified the implant. And the improvement to family life and my own social life, that just came as a bonus. But with hindsight, the improvement has been so great that either one would have justified it in its own right. Having done all that early training, and we moved on, I'm now 7 months post-implant. The BKB test scores haven't particularly improved, but what has improved is my hearing in noise. Things like that incident in the supermarket that I described previously, they no longer happen. I can hear at a distance, which I couldn't do previously, and I can have conversations in a street much more easily than I could before. Well, that's my story.